The Grasshopper Fire grew 6,308 acres yesterday alone. That's the biggest single-day jump of any fire in the Northwest right now. And it's burning 10 miles east of Government Camp, Oregon. If you're near Mount Hood today, listen carefully. Meanwhile, in Nevada, the bug fire went from 15% to 31% contained overnight. The Stallion went from 0 to 44% overnight. But a red flag warning just went up for the Washington Cascades and Olympics. Dry lightning is the threat this afternoon. NWS Seattle upgraded the watch to a warning this morning. We'll break down exactly what that means for crews on the ground. 240 U.S. Army soldiers are fighting wildfires in Washington state right now. The military is on the fire lines. That's where we are. Oregon's Wrights Spring fire, 52,531 acres, 6% contained, crowning fire behavior, and 12 emergency declarations in Oregon this season alone. All of that, plus the official NWS forecast, model breakdown, and what to watch on 5 key fires. Let's get right into it. All right, let's start with Oregon, and honestly, one of the biggest wildfire stories in the state's recorded history. The Big Grass Fire in Malheur County has burned 579,361 acres, 25 miles southwest of Jordan Valley, Oregon. To put that in perspective, that number just surpassed the 2012 Long Draw Fire, Oregon's previous all-time state record. Long Draw held that record for 14 straight years at around 558,000 acres. Big Grass blew past it by more than 20,000 acres. Only 34% contained. Wind-driven runs and short-range spotting are the primary fire behavior concerns right now. Spotting, that's when embers break away from the main fire and land ahead of the front, starting brand new ignitions. 14 crews and 69 engines on scene. Costs have topped $46.3 million. The fire has crossed into southwestern Idaho. Now let's move to what had the biggest single-day growth in the entire Northwest just yesterday. My goodness. The Grasshopper Fire on the Mount Hood National Forest grew by 6,308 acres in just 24 hours. 6,000 acres. One day. Sits 10 miles east of Government Camp, now at 83,619 acres total. Only 20% contained, containment date October 1st. 22 structures have already been destroyed. Costs are at $42.8 million. 1,771 personnel are working this fire. If you're near Timberline Lodge, Mount Hood Meadows, or the Teacup Ski Area, evacuations are in effect. Leave now. The Austin Fire is burning just nearby. 25 miles southeast of Estacada, also in Mount Hood National Forest, 0% contained. If you're planning any recreation in the Mount Hood area, check the forest website before heading out. Road and trail closures are active. Moving to northeast Oregon, the Hagen Fire, 26 miles east of Pendleton in the Umatilla National Forest. 53,306 acres burned, up 2,245 acres overnight, sitting at only 11% contained. Running, torching, and spotting all being reported. Highway 244 has been closed because of Hagen. If you travel that corridor regularly, find an alternate route now. The Wrights Spring Fire in Klamath County, this one has fire managers genuinely concerned this morning. 52,531 acres burned, only 6% contained, 6%. And fire behavior here is extreme, crowning, running, spotting. Crowning, that's when fire reaches the tops of trees and flies from canopy to canopy, essentially impossible to fight directly. 948 personnel are on scene. That's a surge of 187 people added in just the last 24 hours, a sign of escalating priority. For Klamath County residents, multiple zones are under Level 3 Go Now evacuation orders as of this morning. That includes zones KLA 1721, 722, 727, 731, and several others in the Sprague River corridor. Check your zone immediately. Sprague River Road is closed from Milepost 9 to Sprague River Drive. For livestock support, call 211 in Klamath County. Now, here's something that deserves its own moment. Here's a number that really illustrates the scale of 2026 in Oregon. The Emergency Conflagration Act has been invoked 12 times this year in Oregon alone. 12 times. Let that sink in. FEMA has also authorized federal funds to support firefighting costs, the 7th such declaration for Oregon this season. All right, let's cross into Washington, and the story here is just as intense, maybe more so if you're near Seattle. The Little Giant Fire in Chelan County is the fire to watch most closely in the entire Northwest right now. 127,488 acres burned, up 587 acres just yesterday, sitting at only 5% contained. 5% on a 127,000-acre fire. 30 miles northwest of Leavenworth, active crowning, group torching, and long-range spotting all being reported simultaneously. 2,112 personnel assigned, 26 structures already destroyed. The firefighting response here is one of the largest in the country. For evacuations, the north shore of Lake Chelan from Deer Point to Safety Harbor Campground is under Level 3 Go Now orders. South Lakeshore Road from Pyramid Creek to 25 Mile Creek is also Level 3. Do not wait if you are in those zones. Sign up for Chelan County emergency alerts at member.everbridge.net and check the County Emergency Management website for real-time zone updates. Now, this next fire is close to the I-90 corridor, worth paying close attention to if you're in the Seattle metro area. The Three Queens fire is burning 6 miles east of Snoqualmie Pass, right along the I-90 corridor. That's significant. 3,305 acres, 0% contained, with uphill runs, group torching, and short-range spotting. Evacuations and road closures are in effect. If you commute or travel on the I-90 regularly between Seattle and Eastern Washington, monitor conditions before you leave today. The Sinlahican fire is burning 12 miles west of Tonasket, Okanogan County, 152,921 acres, 37% contained, costs at $42.6 million. The Kaiser Canyon fire, managed by the Bureau of Indian Affairs, sits 1 mile south of Nespelem on the Colville Reservation. 138,218 acres burned, 74% contained, but 47 structures have been destroyed, the highest single fire structure loss count in Washington. Here's something remarkable. 240 soldiers from the 1st Battalion, 23rd Infantry Regiment, 7th Infantry Division are fighting fires in Washington. These troops from Joint Base Lewis McChord are deployed to the Wrights Fire. The United States military is now on the fire lines. When infantry soldiers are deployed to fight wildfires, that tells you everything about how stretched national resources are right now. There's also a remarkable international component to this response, and this is your quirky fact of the day. One 15-member incident management team and 59 fire line personnel from Australia and New Zealand are assigned to Northwest fires. We are in full international mutual aid mode that has not happened on this scale in years. It speaks for itself. Let's head to Nevada now, the Bug and Stallion fires, because the overnight developments are genuinely remarkable. The Bug fire started August 8th, human-caused, north of Reno, burning in tall grass, brush, and pinyon juniper. Yesterday morning, 88,422 acres, 15% contained, 579 personnel. This morning, containment has jumped to 31%. 31%. Overnight wetting rain and cooler temperatures moderated fire behavior. Crews immediately went to work strengthening the perimeter. One important update, the Fred Mountain Fire has officially merged into the Bug Fire perimeter, now all tracked as one incident. If you're along Highway 395 in California near Hallelujah Junction, the western flank remains active. Do not let your guard down there. The Stallion fire is burning east of Bug, south of Pyramid Lake in Washoe County, directly on Paiute tribal lands near Nixon. Yesterday morning, 40,689 acres, 0% contained. This morning, 44% contained, 0 to 44% overnight. Remarkable. The IMT has been running prescribed firing operations on the southern flank, creating a fuel break to anchor the containment line. Prescribed firing, that's when crews intentionally burn fuel ahead of the main fire to remove what it needs to keep spreading. Evacuation statuses are issued by the Washoe County Sheriff. For the latest zone map, perimetermap.com Washoe. The official evacuation center is at Evelyn Mount Community Center, 1301 Valley Road in Reno. Large animals, Reno Sparks Livestock Events Center. For questions on shelter, livestock, or general resources, call Washoe County 311 or visit emergencywashoe.com. For smoke and air quality in the Reno area, check fireairnow.gov. If you have respiratory conditions, limit outdoor exposure today. Let's head south, Texas and Oklahoma, because the Southern Plains is setting up for a dangerous fire weather day. Southerly winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour, relative humidity at 10 to 25%. Confirmed in this morning's predictive services discussion. The Dos Pistolas fire is burning 15 miles southwest of Falfurrias. Grass and brush, 75% contained, but conditions today are volatile. If you're on the I-10 corridor between San Antonio and the Valley, watch for smoke reducing visibility. Be extra cautious driving today. Very hot, dry, and breezy conditions are also expected from the Arklatex into the Ozark Plateau. No outdoor burning, period. That covers southwestern Arkansas, northwestern Louisiana, and East Texas. Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands are also under elevated fire risk. The dry thunderstorm threat over the high plains is real. Lightning without rain means new ignitions with nothing to suppress them. Quick check on the northern Rockies. Montana has 8 active large fires. Sand Creek is the most urgent, 27,576 acres, 0 contained. That's 5 miles east of Wisdom, Montana. Active uphill runs and group torching, structures threatened, evacuations in place this morning. In Colorado, Aspen Acres is the most expensive active fire in the nation right now at $100.1 million in suppression costs. 915 structures have been destroyed, 102,004 acres, 72% contained. The human cost on that fire is devastating. In New Mexico, the Frols Fire on the Santa Fe National Forest, 7,794 acres, only 1% contained, active running and flanking behavior. Up in Minnesota, the Superior National Forest Cluster has 5 fires burning. Bear Trap is the largest at 29,991 acres, 44% contained. On a somber note, a contract firefighter from Alaska passed away from a medical emergency at the Bear Trap incident on August 11th. Our thoughts are with their family and friends. The entire firefighting community is holding that loss today. Okay, let's get into the forecast. And I want to be honest with you about what the official NWS guidance actually shows. Because the picture for the Pacific Northwest next week is more nuanced than a simple "it's going to get worse" story. According to the NWS Seattle area forecast discussion issued this morning, there is an upper-level trough over the region today and Friday. A trough that's a dip in the jet stream, bringing low pressure, rising air instability, and potentially cooler temperatures. That instability is why NWS Seattle upgraded a fire weather watch to a red flag warning for the Cascades and Olympics today. Valid through 9 p.m. PDT, covering the west slopes of the North and Central Cascades above 10,500 feet and portions of the Olympics. Here's the critical thing. These thunderstorms have a high probability of not producing wetting rains. NWS Seattle said that directly. Dry lightning, that's when you get the cloud-to-ground strikes without rainfall, plus gusty outflow winds near each storm. That combination can start multiple new fires simultaneously across terrain that's already seeing 15 active large fires. The trough clears Friday night, a brief ridge builds Saturday and Sunday, but another trough arrives Monday through Wednesday. NWS Seattle's official call, near normal temperatures through the period with onshore flow keeping coastal areas cooler. Not a heat event. Now, here's where I want to talk about model uncertainty, honestly, because the Weather Prediction Center flagged this explicitly. The WPC extended forecast discussion issued yesterday afternoon specifically addressed disagreement between models for the Northwest next week. The GFS is showing a stronger upper trough moving inland across the Northwest. That means more unsettled weather, more instability. The ECMWF and CMC are less aggressive with that trough, and the CMC holds on to the western ridge longest of the 3 models. The WPC called the GFS an outlier by Thursday next week and reduced its weighting in the official blend. That's an important detail. Here's the bottom line. No scenario in the current guidance shows prolonged, cool, wet relief arriving for Northwest fire country soon. Ridge scenario means warmer and drier, more fire conducive. A trough scenario means instability and potential dry lightning ignitions. Neither is a good outcome for crews trying to build containment, and the NIFC seasonal outlook confirms above normal fire potential continues. Now, the national picture. The heat story in the South is entirely separate, and it is significant in its own right. According to the WPC extended discussion, a broad upper ridge over the southern U.S. is driving hazardous heat into next week. Interior South temperatures commonly reaching the upper 9 to lower 100s. Heat indices of 105 to 115 degrees in some areas. Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, Memphis, New Orleans. WPC is highlighting major to extreme heat risk conditions persisting into next week. That same southern ridge is pumping the southerly winds driving critical fire weather in Texas and Oklahoma today, all connected. The WPC is also flagging flash flood risk from burn scars in the Four Corners region Sunday and Monday, a separate but serious threat. Burn scars, that's land stripped of vegetation by fire, can't absorb rainfall, so even moderate rain can trigger dangerous debris flows. Midwest and Northeast. Active northern stream flow brings multiple rounds of heavy rain, with a slight risk for excessive rainfall Sunday. So let's talk about what to watch, specifically on the 5 highest priority fires heading into the next 48 hours. On Little Giant, 5% containment on a 127,000-acre fire with active crowning. Can crews hold that line at all today? Watch the northern and eastern flanks. Any shift in outflow winds from afternoon thunderstorms could push fire into unburned fuel fast. On Grasshopper, this was the biggest single-day grower in the entire Northwest yesterday. Is there a second big growth day coming? Its proximity to the Portland metro area and the Mount Hood Recreation Corridor makes this the most consequential Oregon fire to track. On Wrights Spring, watch the south flank specifically. Crews are working to prevent the fire from pushing toward Blind Mountain. Any wind shift there could change conditions in minutes and push fire into unburned fuel across a wide front. It's at 6% contained. On Bug and Stallion in Nevada, can crews lock in those containment gains before conditions change this weekend? The favorable weather window is limited. If perimeters are secured before conditions tighten, these fires could be on a path toward control. If not, they remain vulnerable. This is the critical 24 to 48 hours for Bug and Stallion. Watch for IMT updates throughout today, and watch for new ignition events across the Northwest. Any dry lightning moving through today without rain is a potential new fire start. Total resources right now, 601 crews and 677 engines, 189 helicopters, 29,058 personnel across 154 active incidents nationally. 2 MFF's C-130 air tankers from the Air Force Reserve are deployed to Klamath Falls, Oregon. 2 more from the California Air National Guard in Redding. This is a fully committed national response, and it is still not enough to get ahead of the pace of behavioral activity in 2026. Here's what you need to do right now, depending on where you are. Pacific Northwest red flag warning is active through 9 p.m. PDT. If you are near any active fire evacuation zone, tonight is the night to pack your go bag and confirm your evacuation route. Tonight, Nevada, Washoe County, do not re-enter any closed area, even with improved containment numbers. Check washoe.gov or call 311 for updates. Texas and Oklahoma, no outdoor burning today, and watch for sudden fire starts from dry lightning, especially after 2 p.m. local time. South and Southeast, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, check on elderly neighbors, keep outdoor exposure brief during peak afternoon heat. Minnesota Superior National Forest area, follow your county emergency management website. The Boundary Waters Complex is still active. Sign up for wireless emergency alerts on your phone right now if you haven't already. That's your first line of real-time notification. All fire data in this video is sourced directly from the National Interagency Fire Center Situation Report dated August 13th, 2026. Weather forecast information is sourced from the NWS Seattle Area Forecast Discussion and the WPC Extended Forecast Discussion, August 13th. Bug and Stallion containment updates are sourced from the official Southwest Area Incident Management Team Daily Update, August 14th. This is a developing situation across the continental United States. I will be providing daily updates as conditions evolve. If this forecast helped you, please like and subscribe and turn notifications on. Every update this week will matter. And to every single person on the fire lines right now, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Montana, Minnesota, and everywhere else, thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.